Wow, Stan, you are magic. No offense to the guys who know magic, but now I see why you are. I see it right there, why you are who you are and why you did so much. So many explained so much about you. I mean, with your resume, you should be running for governor. I know you're being inducted in the California Sports Hall of Fame. You told stories about other people, but the motivator that you are, one of the stories I know about you, is when you went to USC, a football school, to become the basketball coach. You told them, if we make it to the tournament, I will jump off the roof of Julie's restaurant into the pool in a cannonball. And you did, but it was close. You guys almost didn't make it. Tell everyone the story.
Well, on Mondays at USC is media day during basketball season at least, and I suppose it was the same for football at Julie's restaurant, a great place. And this particular Monday with the guys, they were great. It was with all due respect, with all that's going on in the world of media, I had the greatest professionals, the most honest, integrity-filled human beings in print and electric media that you could ever imagine. I could say things like, please turn off your tape recorders, I want to tell you a story. And I'd tell them something that had happened on the team. And
don't ever do that around me. Go ahead.
And they would be on the floor laughing. They never betrayed my trust for the 7 years I was there. They were some of the great names that you would know in sports, and it meant so much to me. It was really something. So we're walking out, and I'm walking out with Mal Florence, a terrific writer, and he said, you really think you're going to win 3 of the next 4? And I said, I'm convinced we're going to do it. And he said, if you do, you'll get in the tournament. I said, yep. He said, well, what will you do? What's the first thing you'll do? And we're walking by this empty pool in the patio at Julie's restaurant. And I said, what? I'll jump off that roof into that pool at the Monday press conference. He said, really? I said, yeah. So there was a little note about it in the paper the next day. And then we won 2. And then we're getting close. And we're going to go on the road. I'm sorry, we had to win 5 of 6. That was it. And then we went on the road and we split, just as I said we would. Then we came home and won 2. And there are a couple of guys that mentioned to me tonight about the shot that Dwight Anderson made from behind the basket, the most amazing shot in basketball. And we won the last 2. So it was that Monday. Here we go. And I've got some old sneakers on because it was a gravel roof that I was going to jump off. And I had some shorts. And I had a USC Trojan shirt on. And they had filled the pool. It is standing room only around the pool. Anyone with a microphone, camera, or notepad was there. I mean, you can't believe how tight it was. And they're right up to the edge of the pool. So somebody was up on the roof with me, and I said, catch this. And I leap up in the air, and I give the greatest cannonball in the history of cannonballs, and I get everybody wet. And there are a few of the writers who are a little corny, and so they all do a forward somersault into the water, and we have the greatest party of all time. And that video ran for about a year.
Yeah, it was very famous. You know, it's interesting. They use the 6 degrees of separation. I don't know what you call this. Your third day at San Jose State, the earthquake hit. The earthquake hit while you were there in the Bay Area up there, Tony La Russa, during the World Series. There are these crazy sort of connections that happen with California, which I just thought was wild. But that must have been a sign to you. You said that was the toughest job in Division I basketball in the country at the time.
Well, very quickly. I accepted. I was the athletic director at UC Santa Barbara, but I was not done coaching. And the athletic director, Randy, called me from San Jose State and went over a list of names. We spent about 45 minutes. And I said to him, Randy, at the end, how about me? He said, dang, I thought you'd never ask. No, I said, I'm serious. He said, so am I. So I went up and I interviewed. I was on the NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament Committee, and the first time both Final Fours were being played in the same area in Tacoma and Seattle. So I could do my duties in Tacoma, and I went up to Seattle and did the interview and went back to my room. There were 13 or 14 guys, and I walked in my room and the phone was ringing. And I picked it up. He says, no contest, you're it. So I called my wife and I said, we're moving to San Jose. And I had been an assistant at San Jose, so I knew where they hid the paper clips. And so we're going to San Jose. Well, the team that was there the previous season had walked out on the previous coach, and he finished the season with baseball and football guys. And so they made a change, and I went there. And they had a brand new arena. And because I had played at Cal, coached at UOP, had been an assistant at San Jose State before, I knew a lot of guys, so we had this big turnout, okay? And did it in the gym, and gosh, it was fun, and shaking hands, and slapping backs, and all that stuff. And then they took me in to meet my team. There were 2 guys sitting there. This is after the Final Four. The recruiting's been, there's 2 guys sitting there. Dwayne Daniels and Tommy DeCiano. Neither had ever started a game. So I walked out on campus, and if I saw somebody 6'4", I'd say, "You ever play?" They said, "Yeah." I said, "Where?" "Intramurals." "Great, here's a scholarship." I had the most amazing, my three man had a bullet hole in his leg. He was 6 feet tall. He was in a McDonald's in Compton, and somebody went crazy, and they couldn't get out of the car. They couldn't move forward or backwards, and the guy went and shot people in the car. And he had a bullet hole. I had a guy who had one eye.
I don't feel like I should laugh at that, but I am.
I know, it's terrible. I told him one time, "I'm coming over to see you tonight." He said, "I'll keep an eye out for you." I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah, they're still awake back there. Okay, so anyway, I got a bunch of guys named Joe, and I said, "Look, we don't have a single guy who can dunk. I don't care." I said, "I want us to play this way. If there's a loose ball that's bouncing toward the sideline, particularly the scorer's bench, I want you to save it, and I want you to see how many people you can wipe out at one time as you fly across that table, and sodas are going in every which way, and monitor." And they loved that. We beat people we had no business playing, okay? We truly did. We truly did. And it was an exhilarating experience, and then it was downhill from there. But somebody has to do that, and the whole deal about taking a job like that, just as it was at taking the job at USC that nobody frankly wanted, because SC had not beaten UCLA in 10 years, 20 games. And as good Lord would have it, we beat them the first time we played them in the sports arena, and we beat them 7 of the 14 times we played them. There aren't many people that ever get that opportunity to take such a difficult situation and turn it around. But San Jose State was the hardest thing that I've ever done.
Congratulations, you did great, because they went to the tournament. It was great. We've got to move on. But you know what else? He was once a consultant to Shaq. Boy, I'd love to hear about that someday. Congratulations.